Hey folks, welcome to episode one of Rethinking Grading at South Shore Tech, in which we're going to answer the question, why are we doing this? And there are many forms to this question. What's wrong with how we've graded? It's worked fine for the past 150 years. If it ain't broke, why fix it? And what problem does this solve? Again, all of these forms really boil down to this central question of why are we rethinking grading? The short answer is this. We want to make sure that grades are as fair, accurate, and helpful as they can be for all students. It's also worth noting, however, that we did get a big grant to help support this work, and we're grateful to the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education for that. Now, as far as how we went about this process of rethinking grading, a big part of it was listening to parents and caregivers. We sent out a survey to parents and caregivers. 170 respondents replied, and the results of that survey are summarized here, where parents and caregivers were asked to agree, disagree, or if they felt neutral about these statements. Grades at SST are accurate, grades at SST are fair, grades at SST are helpful. Now, on the one hand, we can look at the percent who agree with these statements. Pretty substantial numbers. I would ask that you look at the other side, though. 30% of our parents, caregivers feel that they cannot say that grades are accurate. They can't say that they agree, strongly agree, or somewhat agree. Similar numbers when it comes to fairness, right? About 30% are disagreeing or neutral. And then when it comes to the helpful side of things as well, only 57.6% of parents and caregivers felt that grades are helpful. That's something that stood out to me. But again, we have other community members involved as well. We listened to teachers. I was able to go and I had countless meetings. I think it was over 100 meetings I had with teachers throughout the course of this school year. And teachers were asked about 8 different grading practices during PLCs. They're essentially mini department meetings. And when it came to 5 of those different grading practices, 50% or more of our departments felt that they were worth considering. That feedback is what helped craft the plan that we designed for the 23-24 school year. And as far as the specifics of the plan, we'll be addressing those in the next episode. We are a vocational technical high school. We are here to make sure that students are ready to work, so it's important that we listen to our employers as well. I sent out a survey to all co-op employers. 16 companies responded to that survey. 9 agreed to follow-up phone interviews. 89% of those said that grades are actually not an important factor when hiring. 78% said they would prefer a system of grading that uses words rather than a percentage grade. And 100% were willing to pilot a new time card or score sheet that uses words instead of percentages. 56% felt that work habits are more important than skills and knowledge. We also have students who go off to college and university, and so it's important that we got their perspective as well. I was able to interview admissions personnel at 10 of the schools to which our students most often apply. All 10 of these schools said there would be no negative impact to a standard-based transcript provided there's a GPA, a grade point average. I'll be talking more about a standards-based transcript in the next episode. One of the colleges I spoke with was excited about this idea of a standards-based transcript because it would give more information. Another one said that our proposed system seems like the best of both worlds because it provides a fair GPA and it puts focus on learning. Related, I wanted to mention this is not a fad, right? There are a lot of other schools that are doing this work across the country and in Massachusetts. I've been able to connect with a lot of them directly. There are dozens of books, articles, and reports supporting this work. Even the NCAA ran a webinar this past February to talk about how they support students who are coming into college from a high school that used a standards-based grading system. So the fact that an organization that large is embracing this is significant. And these links you'll be able to connect to through the PowerPoint that will be available through the website as well. Perhaps most importantly, though, we listen to the students. They are the reason that the school is here. They are the reason for everything that we do. And their input is important to consider, clearly. Informal polling during their wellness classes showed that 49% of 10th, 11th, and 12th graders felt that grades at SST are not fair, accurate, and helpful. A more formal survey was shared with all students. 429 of our approximately 630 students responded. And the survey was very similar to the one that went out to parents and caregivers. Same statements, same idea of asking, do you disagree, are you neutral, or do you agree? And you can see the numbers here are somewhat different, right? Only a little over half agree that grades are accurate. 58% felt that grades are fair, but only 34.7% felt that grades are helpful. Right? And that's a strong connection, a strong parallel to what parents and caregivers said as well. That out of the accurate, fair, and helpful, helpful was the one that rated the lowest. The big takeaways from this episode is that why are we rethinking grading? The answer is simply to ensure that grades are as fair, accurate, and helpful as possible for all students. This approach has been collaborative, research-based, and it builds off of work that this school started over a decade ago. And it's important too to keep in mind colleges and employers are on board with this. Thank you for taking the time to listen. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. The contact information is available on the school website, jscopoletti at ssvotech.org. 781-878-8822, extension 317. I'm here to help support us as we go through this work, and I'm grateful for your time and for your interest.